Here's a quick project overview of project we started just a couple days ago, and the client wanted a fire pit area up on top of that knoll right there, so we're making a nice 14-foot diameter circle right up there. But first I want to talk about our but first I want to talk about how we transfer from the deck down. It's actually kind of funny because we go down and then we go back up. But that's when you start working with interesting terrain like this. It's kind of a cool thing. We love using these giant pieces of flagstone for a way to egress off of decks and onto patios and egress, ingress, all those fancy words. We love using giant pieces of flagging. For one, the guys chose a really nice piece here for our initial landing. That's brilliant. Good job, guys. Another thing, the reason we love using these giant pieces is, say if we did it all with this little flagstone here, once the grass, because we're going to grass this over, once the grass grows over this and kind of, if it's not edged out regularly, the grass will grow over by 3 or 4 inches. Even if it does it all the way around, you still have a gigantic walking space. It's absolutely great. As opposed to if you did that, you know, the grass grows over 2 or 3 inches, you're left with tiny stones. So these are set in here just on a combination of soil and some maybe number 9 stone for leveling purposes. We don't worry about you know, basing or anything on these and this type of installation too much. They're going to sit fine over the years with no problem. What we've got here is some unilock ledgestone steps. We set them with our big pneumatic lifter. The thing's great. As a transitional zone here, we've got another piece of big flagging. The guys have this marked out to get ready to do this cut so they can do their banding markings here, or do their banding along the outside edge, which is going to be these Monroe pavers here. Our minimum size paver patio for a circle fire pit area, because you can see that's the fire pit area, that's the actual fire pit itself. So 14 foot is our minimum diameter that we ask for from clients. You go any smaller than that, and once you put a chair up here, it gets pretty small. It gets pretty tight of space. So 14 foot is that like bare minimum that we're looking for as far as you know, this space goes, so we don't have the chairs when people scoot back to get out of smoke or whatever into the grass. So 14 foot diameter again, that's what we're looking for. This job, and like getting to be a lot of our projects, is on open graded stone. Open graded stone is this number 57, clear or clean stone with no fines in it. That means, you know, like dense graded base has all the fine aggregate in there that compacts. This stone still compacts, but not with very little effort to get it to consolidate or compact. In Ohio, we have heavy clay soils. So what we've done here is dig out about a 9-inch profile total, 6 inches base, inches setting bed, and about 2 3/8 inches pavers. These are 2 3/4, I believe. But let's see here. So actually, something I just realized. I think those pavers are. Well, the guys got to screed out extra paving. So one of the things you want to keep in mind. Sorry, I just had a little epiphany there. So these pavers are 2 3/8 and these pavers are 2 3/4. So what they'll have to do is go around and screed out additional stone around the outer edge once they cut in this line. So because these pavers are going to go like this all the way around in a soldier course. That's soldier. This is called sailor. So these are going to go like that. They're going to have to screed out. They'll make a little screed out of a piece of wood, but they're going to screed out an extra little probably 1/4 inch of this number 89 grit. Actually, this is all number 9 grit. And that'll build it up to the proper heights. But I digress. So this paver patio is built on open graded stone. All your other standards are the same for patio construction. Excavation, compacted subsoils, geofabrics, then followed by, we're gonna put in 6 inches of this open graded number 57 stone. We're gonna put it in at about 6 inches, and then we're gonna run our little plate compactor over it, just this little whacker, 1550 with about 3,300 pounds of centrifugal force, that little guy right there. That's enough to consolidate that last 6 to 8% of compaction that's needed. They say this stone is, when it's dumped out of the truck, is at about 90% compacted. So you just need that last, you can see how the stone, but it just needs that, just a little bit right there to get that last little bit consolidated, and you're good to go. Then you do 1 inch or so, and that's a great thing about this open grade stone, as opposed to sand, for your setting bed, you can get away with about 1 inch, inch minimum, 1.5 inches, 2 inches even, because this stuff holds its structure so well. We'll still run a plate compactor over to get it consolidated in, the pavers into this setting bed, and we're going to do a concrete edging border around the outside. Again, this is for a non-vehicular based paver. This is a residential pedestrian grade patio. The next part of that is we want to be sure to, what else do we want to do there? Get that edged in. We want to make sure that, you know, our grading around this is all good and finished. We then also, but one of the big things too, pavers at 2% slope. 2% slope. That's a really big deal, and I'll take that to my grave. Anything shallower than that is not going to drain fast enough to keep this surface adequately clean, keep these joints clean as they can be, you know, with just natural rainfall and stuff like that. So we want to be sure that we're holding 2% of slope. So 1/4 inch per foot is what we want as far as drop goes. That's ICPI standard, and I do agree with that 100%. Quick job site tour. Reversible plate compactor does a great job for compacting our subsoils. If not, we want to use a jumping jack compactor to beat those clay soils down. That thing has just enough sheer force to get the clay soils where we want them. Bobcat T595, we got some other videos back in it. Love it. It's just small enough, but yet big enough to pick up full skids of pavers, 2,500 pound skids without a single issue. We picked up 4,000 pound skids with that thing too, and it's done just fine. This is also, by the way, this patio, this is this is not Beacon Hill, this is Unilock Brussels paver. So it's a sharp looking old style paver. Really nice, like it a lot. This is our banding, a Husqvarna K760 saw. We use a lot of those. We generally buy one a year, so we just wear them out. So we got 3 or 4 of those things on the company here. We just started trying out the Echo cutoff saw, and so far it's been a good saw. We'll give that thing a full year to make sure it's the way we like it. Different buckets and stuff. Handling trash on a job site, we're going to start getting a couple things on our sites. We're going to get these those kick boxes, those dump boxes. Been wanting to get them for years. I'm going to get them. I'm done with it. This little plate compactor for consolidating our pavers. All your basic tools, little handheld blower. Electric blower would be really handy, which I think is something we're going to step up to here one of these days. Of course, all sorts of levels. Screed bars, 1-inch screed bars. Come along rakes, all that stuff. Just a big deal. Here's what we want. That's our woven geotextile fabric that the guys used. And it works great for strengthening our subsoils and separating base. We like this. Now this is woven. You see how it's like a quilt? Non-woven is the stuff that looks like it's a bunch of fibers all strewn all over the place. That's good for separation, but not for strength. Another couple things where we can do, or what you can do, and this is from the Pave Tool guys, so I have to give them credit on this, which I'm happy to. They will do a couple things. Aside from their quickie edging, they will extend the base 12 inches out, this open graded stone 12 inches out. I think it's a little bit overkill, but the Pave Tool guys are definitely professionals, and I listen to whatever they say seriously. They'll extend their base 12 inches. They've even said they'll take a jumping jack compactor and compact the outside ring of soil to make sure it's just as firm and fully intact and compacted as possible for any edge shifting or migration. So they'll do that, but that's in conjunction with their edging and with open graded systems. So we haven't had a system or a situation where we felt we needed to compact the soils, but if it were a site where it was like a new build or something like that, where it's all been disturbed, we may consider that. But that's that.